Good evening, and welcome to the stream. Tonight, we'll be following the adventures of Stanley. Yeah, Stanley Parable. Been wanting to play this game for a little while, and it was on sale. But why not? Fingers crossed this button works. Let's just kill the background music for a minute. It's working. Yay. That is not people in the background in my house talking, that's the game. So let's... Oh, wrong button. Wrong. When you've got two camera buttons and you press the wrong one. Hello. I'm here. Welcome to the Stanley Parable. I know. Basically, this is a narrative RPG. You play Stanley, and the narrator tries to tell you what to do. Emphasis on tries. I may follow what he's doing for a little bit, and then I might deviate and see how annoyed I can make him. But without too much further ado, let's begin.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them.
Let's turn that down a little bit so you can hear me.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
When this cutscene finishes, we'll turn on subtitles.
Might have considered it soul-rending.
Oh, and I clicked to skip it. Whoops. Right, settings. Accessibility. Nope. Video? Audio? Gotta be here somewhere. Subtitles on. There we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe. Open doors. I like open doors.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Like I said, for the first one we'll do what the narrator keeps telling us.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Excuse me, can you wind back? Because I'm pretty sure you just said everybody was fired. Okay. Let's see what the rest of these slides say. Nice. Very nice. Boss appreciation minute. Which means this slide is going to be here. Never mind. Solving interpersonal conflict. What are your future dreams? Lovely. Nature of stuff. Ow. Tips for getting fired. Do unbelievably measure work all the time with no rush. Don't get fired. Oh, tips for not getting fired. I thought that was tips for, you know. Doors closed now. Oh, we can go into the broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, we're going upstairs. That's at least 4 different options I've seen.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. And then that will close behind me. Yeah. Ooh, elevator. No, that's dark corner. Oh, the light game. Hi. Down we go. Loading. Yes, sir.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
I wonder if I go back, if there's something else here.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted
Finished?
to the edge of my seat.
No? Oh, alright, now you finished. Good. Right, well now we're gonna... Now I'm gonna head back down and stop annoying the narrator.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Shall we go back up again and annoy him some more? Shall we do it again? Shall we do it again? Keep annoying him. Sounds like fun. Oop, wrong button.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Oh, this is fun. Right, yeah. We'll press the down button again. Light up. Oh dear. Wait. The light's not on.
Oh my God. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this.
A fanfare movie jump. Please hold.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process. All right, I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Thank you.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Wait, that's not how I'm controlling my game. Right, let's move on. Excuse me.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
But it says escape. That way. Yeah, okay. There's a button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
It's the door shut, so yes, I do have the strength to find out. Oh. Nothing. Lights.
Now
Camera.
the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Yep.
And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
One. All the way over there. Apparently 601 was fired. Let me guess, this one says action.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Probably.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oops, missed. Ah, that's another entrance, I'm guessing. Facility power. Hello. Mind control idle waiting for up there.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself? Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yes.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
Lovely.
How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Yep.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. but I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
And there's the end of rule number 1. And we go back to the beginning.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yep. Let's take...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yeah.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth it, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did I? Sure.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section,
I
walked
missed the
straight
kid.
ahead to the opposite
Nope.
door, and got back on track.
Bye. I missed the cake in the break room. Oh well. Thanks, Gareth.
But
How you doing?
Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order
Yes.
to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Ah, that way. Oh,
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
wait for it. Wait for it.
No,
That's left.
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Oh, was it? Okay.
Now, let's see, we went
The
down...
cake was a
right,
lie, was
left,
it?
Down, left, right... Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay, down we go. Into the belly of the... Ah, yes.
No, this isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay.
No, definitely won't.
From the top.
Nice. That was a short one. Whoops.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Except there was nobody in the meeting room.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or...
I don't think so.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
Ooh.
Let's find the story.
I'll go through that door, so we'll go this way. Freedom! Does this take me back in? That loops me back into there. Cool. Go this way. I have no idea where I'm going now. I am way off. We've looped, haven't we? Probably. Yep.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we just Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Lunk. Yeah, saw that coming. Vazi. Which one's that one, Gareth? I can't remember what the commander is.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And now there's no doors.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Oh. Ah. You evil man.
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Ah, Stanley. Oh, wait, what?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Good. Right.
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Sure. Restart. Oh, the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Wait, that's going a different way. Okay. Follow the line.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
Okay.
Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Jeez.
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Jesus. That made me jump. Loud. Thanks for that. Flipping it.
Cut the music.
Thank
Go
you.
back and look at that fern.
What fun.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Will it?
Make sure you study it closely and remember it
Okay, guys,
carefully.
let's
You
do it
won't want to
closely.
miss anything.
Study it closely. Get up close and personal. Aye. Anyway, moving on. Continue doing what Stanley does best. Whatever the heck he wants. Or more importantly, whatever the heck I want.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Yeah, we did a full loop. Oh,
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
and again.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Nice.
Oh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Door did you open? Oh, that door. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path.
Let's go.
A new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
Well,
Whatever it might be, Stanley.
I've just gone round in
ready
circles
for
like
it.
4 times before it decided to let me move on. That's a little bit unnerving.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
It went up through the roof. That's fine.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From
Right.
here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Very good. Nice.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing. Wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Who knows?
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Force reset. He's forgotten.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And off we go. Go again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Go right
he
again.
entered This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yep.
Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room.
It's
Thank
pretty good.
goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Here we
I'm
go.
not your enemy,
All the way up, or
really,
do I go
I'm
that way?
not. I realize that investing your trust in
go all
someone
the way
else
up
can
to
be
the top.
difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Ooh. Black hole.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Yay.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Absolutely nothing.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Please press C. Sure.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
How dare you?
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries.
I wonder what happens if I press the wrong
lands.
button this time.
It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press I.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
Press I.
First, he imagined that
there's
one
no
day
TV.
while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Yes, it did. There are no
So
voices.
he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Wait a minute.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
This is the real life.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. Okay. I'll sit here and wait. Wonder how long it's going to make me wait for. This is thrilling gameplay. And all you can hear is the clock ticking. What is that mysterious ticking noise? I mean, it's the clock on the wall. I know exactly what it is. And there's a now staring at the floor. He's not sure. Do it. What? Press the button. You want me to press the button, Gareth? You want me to press it? Because when I press this button, that doorway's going to change back to the office.
You see?
See?
Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules.
I have a
I
feeling
simply
I was
play to
just
my
going to sit
intended
there
purpose, the same as
with that
Stanley.
letter T on
Well, not
screen
so
forever.
difficult, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe
Open the
this
door, then.
time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Reset. Oh. Chrono's knuckles. Yeah, me too. I feel like I'm genuinely bad at this game. Come on. That's it. It's finally all his
All of his
co-workers.
co-workers were gone.
Yeah.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, I didn't. I went right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
I do.
just to admire it.
And I will. Look.
The lounge
Employee
was
room.
sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
But what? Done.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
And then we're going to jump off the bridge.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you
Oh, there's
all
another
this
door down there.
time.
Huh.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
So there's a third
Someone
way out
you've
of this
forgotten
room.
about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
Yes.
that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Nah, you want me
Let
to...
me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
I'm good, Sparrow.
Give me a
How are you?
chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, it wants me to go through the red door. Now, so far, I've ignored everything it said to me. Go through the red door.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I
For now.
really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution.
Hey.
Here, let me show you.
Yes, that door opens. And that door opens. So, it's the same door, just from opposite angles then. Black room. Fade to darkness.
What do
Ooh.
we want? What are we looking for?
Oh yeah.
Here.
Space room.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
I'm done.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Okay. I mean, I wondered what he was going to do, but clearly if I jump off there, it leads to death and the game reset and we start again. So, let's head back to the pretty room.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
I mean, at some point, I'm probably going to go back and do the thing. Unless something interesting. Oh, I really should stop spinning around so quickly because that's going to make me go dizzy. Green. Is anything actually going to happen? Got pink dots. See what he says this time.
No! What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You are going to stay here, aren't you?
Gonna say anything else?
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die! What about this isn't getting through to you?
Can't walk off the edge of there. Do you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Time to take a dive. Going straight. Time to live like Plum. Go straight to the top and take a dive. Yep. Micro world.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
But I didn't die the first time, so chances are.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
No, I don't think I can.
Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
Um,
I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
no. No, I can't. I can't see that. The colours are hurting my eyes.
No, perhaps not.
I wonder if at some point one of these doors up here is gonna... I'm getting...
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
No.
Am I reading the situation correctly?
Do I jump again, or do I just walk back down the stairs? Because eventually one of these times it's going to actually kill Stanley. Wondering whether walking back down the stairs is going to be... No, let's walk back down the stairs. Like a lemming. Okay, lemmings it is. Time to jump off the top. Oop. Punch.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
At this point, I'm definitely teasing him. What's he going to say this time? Hello, Latin.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I still thought that was possible.
But you find us in... Stanley Parable. Playing games with the narrator. Yeah, definitely have slowed down. Ugh. This is now painful. Come on. Upstairs. Up we go. Back to the top. And... jump! Flat. There we go. Finally.
It's going to restart, isn't it?
Took
I'm
him
going back.
4 attempts to die. The end is never. Never the end is. Wait, that's different.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's go right again.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yes, I did.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yep, I did.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle.
Cool. Done.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did I? I don't think I did.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform
Yeah,
and
keep looking for
to
it.
his death.
And I jumped off the
Good
thing
job,
and I was
Stanley.
hoping
Everyone
to...
thinks you are very powerful.
I was hoping to go see what was out of that open door in the bottom of the...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Cake is a lie. Fine. I might find it eventually. Let's
When
go left.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I did. As we get to
Yet
the meeting
there
room.
was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping coming to a staircase,
Let's down.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Go down. Red light's never menacing, is it?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in
I'm
a
walking
single
around in
moment for
circles.
no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Correct.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Yes.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice
Meta
describing
breaking.
me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
And he opened his eyes and he was exactly where he
Wake
was.
up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
I'm not so sure.
I am okay.
Nope, exactly where we were. Yep.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Bump. Good.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Well, that's different.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew.
Yep.
Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of
Yep.
my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
And in the famous words of Coldplay, I'm going back to the start.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Cool. New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
We're on a roller coaster. That means. We like new content. Yep, we're on a roller coaster.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable,
More
delighting
game.
audiences the world over.
Awesome. Good to see them.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Let's go.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Snap. Drop.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's
I was
on
wrong.
to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Straight to the boss's office.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Yay, we get to jump. I'm guessing this is the only place in the game we can actually jump. 5, 4, 3, 2. No more jumping. We did all the jumps.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Can't jump anymore. We're in work again.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
In a game where
If
you
this is
couldn't
new
jump,
content,
jumping is a
then I
big,
could just read you
big
the whole
improvement.
dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Very good.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Do I have a choice? Nope. No choice. Wait. That's different.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Let's go through the vent. Let's follow the voice. Let's follow the voice. Okay. Crunch. Huh? No crunch. Wow. Shocking behavior.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I
Wow.
call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Come in here. What?
Je suis dans la memory zone.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
Yeah.
It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3.
Wait.
It was all of them.
Have you been-
And now, it's nothing.
Wait.
It's no
You've been
games at
watching
all.
what I've been playing lately.
It isn't even the Stanley
worries me.
Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Excuse me. Oh, we can go down. Or can we? Memory zone maintenance. Can't go downstairs. Person of the year.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Blue doors. Which door open?
These were simpler times, Stanley.
The door's open.
But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Clearly not.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Very good. I guess the gate's going to shut behind me the minute I get out of the way. Yep, there it goes.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
Oh.
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise
on camera when I'm yawning like that, don't
record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down.
Nah.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
People are shit.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Yeah,
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
It's this skip button.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices are what... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
Shall we,
Of course, I happen to believe it was... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen.
Say again.
Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same?
Years. It's now been years.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
Nope.
Let me describe it for you. To begin
Yeah, no. I'm not listening to that. Silence. There is now no other option than to just keep pressing the button. I wonder what the beeping is. Now it's on the left. Now it's on the right. Button. Yeah, it's the button.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned. They screamed. They gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us. Now he went...
Shut up.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Oh, the tree's dead. Pipes leaking. Pipes leaking in the roof. Oh, there's a big hole in the roof now. One more. Daylight. Yeah. Oop. Nature always finds a way. Also, I keep being told. Oh, wait, what? Oh, the plants died. Never mind. I mean, as far as I can tell, I just keep pressing the button. I'm expecting something to jump out and scare me now. Oh, the room's fallen over. The button's fallen over. And we can't press it anymore. Cool. Oh, the world has ended. Time to just walk up into the sunset then, I suppose. Probably the end. Yep, that's another circuit done. Well, that was interesting.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Very good. Let's do it again. New content. Excuse me. Oh, we went left. Oh no. Okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Very nice.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
We got fish.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Ah, the door's open. Very good. Head back to the Stanley Parable 2 hallway.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Yep.
Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Oh, the jump circle. Oh, I've got no jump.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
I literally can't jump. Okay. The infinite hole. Have a look at this. What have we got? I am here.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Through that door, let's... Oh, wait. Ooh. Button.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified.
Yeah.
Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this
Yes,
feature.
I am Jim.
Just play
Hello.
along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Hello, my name is
I
Jim.
want you to imagine yourself living as...
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory.
Don't
If you
need
don't
to-
properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now,
Jim.
allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, Staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim.
Let's sit back and have
Developing
5 minutes
a
chat.
crippling substance addiction as Jim. Rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim. And finally, dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim.
Wait, Jim has a
Do you
cult?
feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes, you see?
I
What
made
a
him
thrill,
happy.
what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time.
Does
If
it?
this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
I think he's called Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Oh, it went through the floor. They took the button away from me. Now I can't press it anymore. Now I'm sad. I wanted to press the button again. I wanted to be Jim. Took Jim away from me.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2.
No.
That would actually save me the work of finishing this
Let's
feature.
not go in there just yet. That door is open. But I don't want to go in there. Let's go get the easiest achievement. Because everybody loves easy achievements. Follow lever, receive your achievement.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Oh. It's fine, don't give me an easy achievement. See if I care. Silly things. Right.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The collection.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Yay! I got one. Very nice. There's only one, isn't there? Yep. There's only one.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Let's have a look in the infinite hole. But let's not fall in it. Yeah, we don't want to fall in the infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Yeah, I'm not interested. Wait, what? Okay, that lowered down. I hope I can go back. I can go back. Good. Good. We can go back. Not a fan of falling forever. Let's head to the exit. I think I've seen everything else. Hole. Office decoration. Reassure. Bucket. Betting world champion. Merch. These are the buttons. Player's name. Epilogue. Oh, I haven't. Settings world champion. Yeah. Okay, fine. Exit time. Ooh. Epilogue bit. We didn't go in there. We saw it and then sort of ran away from it.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah. Oh, settings world champion is up here. Okay. That's why I couldn't find it. Oh, it's locked. We'll have a good locked door. Right, time to exit. I mean, in theory, I could have jumped down the infinite hole, see what happened. That would have been fun. We'll go this way. See where this takes me. Probably into the infinite
All right,
hole.
have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yes.
Ready to move on now?
Yes. Oh, look, it's Stanley's massive head.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
Okay.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Sure.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is.
Yes.
I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
What?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's
Yes.
sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this.
Tink, tink,
Here we
tink,
go.
tink, tinker.
Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
Lights out.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh, nice. Very good. Is he going to put me back where I was?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Love the fact that he's got the 12-year-old and
Employee
eats
number
balloons.
427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in.
Yep.
As though he had been made
Simple job.
exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No
Wait a
one had
minute.
showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
We're just playing the...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Let's go.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a
Ace the
job well
sequel.
done. You can't buy that sort of
Ace
happiness,
the
Stanley. God
sequel.
knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay, let's carry on. Into the boss's office.
Stepping
285.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the
bucket.
soothing presence of the bucket.
Bucket.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Is it? Then we go down. And now we'll head for the escape route. With the bucket.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine. Excuse me.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
No, we didn't.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Fine. I am okay with this.
The door behind was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Does this every night this time? I wonder if there's something running. Cool. Everything's calmed down again now.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Yes? Yay. Down the void. Let's see if it's still got me in Stanley Parable 2. Oh. Ah. Not dead. Yet. Oh no. Very soon going to be
As
dead.
the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket. Welcome to the Grand Bucket exhibit, everybody.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life? No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Pinch the bucket again.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
And nice. And we load back into the office at the start of the game. Oh, we're still in Stanley Parable 2.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
There's no
Stanley
bucket.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh no, there's the bucket. Skip the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he
All right.
entered the door on his left.
Oh.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
If there's anything.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
Oh boy.
But eager to get
Alright, that
back
was
to
funny.
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I did.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh, I did. Nope. Head downstairs. Accidentally end up.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
No.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Cool. Then we end up at the top of the big hall.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay.
Sure.
From the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No additional content. Oh yeah.
When Stanley...
Okay,
Wait.
but let's go back and do that again. But we'll follow it properly. See what happens. You get to the big. There we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Grab the
Stanley
bucket.
decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Let's follow the narrator all the way to the end.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Get the broom closet. Oh, it's a different set of slides. That one from the executive bathroom. anymore, or is it just gonna loop back to you? Yeah, cool. In the broom closet.
Coming to a
I'll
staircase,
head up.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
2845.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Then we take the elevator down. And we head to the mind control room. And this time we'll press the off button. Because the first time I pressed
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
click.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Lights. Camera.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
27. Number right there, right in the middle. Last button is a lift.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions
These are all
raced
good questions.
furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Is a bucket under
No!
mind
He
control.
screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
But the bucket's the problem. You see.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the
Nice.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
I know.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No.
Okay.
Stanley can't leave this place.
Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Reset. Called it. So we need to do that without the bucket then. Go.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Unless, of course, it just shuts me back in. Upstairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
It's forcing me to slow down. Because I'm going too fast.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Yep. Let's go! And we'll press the down button.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yep. I did. You're right. Then I pressed the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Then we press the button for the cameras and we went.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Helps if I actually press W on my keyboard rather than D. We pressed the lift button and we went.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control?
I'm guessing it's exactly the same.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it?
Balloons in the bucket.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I don't know.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For...
Turn it on. Turn the system off. See if the door actually opens to let us out.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Different voice lines.
Yes. He had won.
Hello?
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where
All of
had
them.
his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do.
Oh, the
or
door is
how to
actually
feel.
going to open.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Hey! Got an achievement. I'm guessing there's loads of achievements for all sorts of bits and pieces. Right. On that noise and nonsense, we'll end there and stop walking around in circles. So, quickly looking through what's happening for the rest of the week. Well, I just switch over to that to my lovely face for you all, and I open up Discord to see because I got a message about tomorrow. Right, so all being well, tomorrow night there should be bonus stream. Bonus. We love a bonus around here. Yeah, I should be doing a spell table stream with a few of friends if they're available. If not, then I can only apologise. But things happen, and it's not the end of the world. I will be back definitely on Thursday with episode 3. We are going to race our way up the Tartarus Tower to get the next lot of levels out of the way as quickly as possible. I apologise, my head itches because those headphones are getting rather hot. I can take them off now anyway. But yeah. All being well, you will see, well, not me, but you'll see my desk and some magic cards. And 3 other people. I know I said 4 then, that's not right. I can math. And 3 other people playing along with me. With that said, I think it's time to go and find a friend. A channel to raid. Let's not watch on yet. Firefox. We need Firefox, which is my browser of choice. And then we need Twitch TV. Because as much as I know I can type in the command into chat, I like the control of clicking on a button and seeing who's actually live and accepting raids. And we will go. Nico's doing some music. let's go raid Nico doing a DJ set. Oh, it's not actually Nico at the moment. It looks like it's someone else. But yeah, we'll carry on with the raid and we'll chill out for a minute in that channel and enjoy the nonsense that's going on over there. So, thank you for watching again, and I will see you on the next one. Good night.